I remember how girls would get ragged when they would lie about their hair. Like, you know when somebody would have a weave and somebody would be like, is that your real hair? And the girl would be like, yeah. People would eat that girl up if it wasn't her real hair. People would eat that girl up. But here are these guys lying comfortably. Yeah, that's my hair. I have a loose hair. I'm a mixed race. We need to start calling these men out for what it is. You got a lace front. You got a perm. You're a perm baby. And that's fine. But then don't go and write songs about a fantasy that you're not, that you're chasing.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's World. Hi y'all, welcome to Mayowa's World. My name is Mayowa. Today I'm going to be making a very messy and fun video talking about why men lie about their hair texture. If you haven't joined my Patreon, you should join my Patreon. I talk about personal issues. I'm going to start streaming. I'm very nervous about streaming because something about sharing my thoughts consistently scares me, but I'm gonna try and stream at least once this week, so join my Patreon. When we talk about texturism, there is a lot of fixation around Black women and Black people who don't feel comfortable to wear their natural hair.
What's your definition of good hair?
Something that looks relaxed and nice.
If your hair is relaxed, white people are relaxed. Your hair is nappy, they're not happy.
There's a lot of pressure between, like, are you somebody who wears a weave? Are you somebody who wears braids? Are you somebody who wears your natural hair? And obviously when you wear different styles, you get treated differently. Like if you are someone who wears your natural hair, people might feel like you're more earthy, you're more natural, you're more pure. And if you're somebody who wears a weave, people might think you're more expensive, you're more bougie, you know? So each hair, people interpret different things. And I do think that it doesn't matter which option you make, you will be shamed for the option if you do not benefit from texturism, if you don't have a looser hair texture. Because the way that texturism works is that the looser your hair texture is, the more acceptable it's considered. So the more kinky your hair texture is, the more disliked it is. And it doesn't matter. And then when you wear a weave, if you don't want to have it out, there's like a lot of judgment around that. And then when you wear your natural hair, there's a lot of judgment around that. There's a lot of fixation around how typically women navigate their natural hair. But you know who doesn't get enough judgment? Men. And I want to make a video really unpacking this because there are 3 men I saw recently who have lied about their hair texture and they just kind of go under the radar. And this radar is going up today. We're gonna talk about it, yeah. Also, just a little disclaimer, all the men I'm mentioning here, I don't like any of these men. I just think it's interesting how men can kind of bypass a lot of their internalized texturism by fixating on women's hair, and how a lot of times, because these men don't like their hair texture, they don't like their Blackness, they don't like their Black features, or they themselves, they end up chasing women who are racially ambiguous, have a looser hair texture, because I think it makes them feel better about themselves. And in their mind, they have kind of done something to believe that they are these mixed race guys, or they are these loose hair textured people, because they don't feel comfortable to admit that they are fully Black. So the first person on this list is the evil dancing warlock, also known as Chris Brown. I don't like Chris Brown at all. I don't think anything about me would give I like him. I think women lose their mind about him because he does backflips and he's light skinned, but who am I to judge? I am actually judging. But I saw a clip of him talking about his hair texture that I just thought was really funny, because that's not how I recollect things, and that's not the hair texture I remembered back in the day when he was singing Run It. So let's watch this clip of him talking about his naturally loose hair texture that's very natural, and yeah. Everything I'm saying is alleged.
Double blindfold?
Yeah, because he got that little dancing eye. We don't want him to... Man, what, you put a perm in your hair?
Huh?
Did you put a perm in your hair?
No, my hair's like this.
Why your hair?
You
like straight?
Yeah.
What you on, Empire
You
or
never
something?
seen my hair? You never seen my hair when it curls out?
Man.
Hey, man, I'm not all the way Black, bro. I'm halfway, man. Right on the cusp.
Hey, man,
I'm right on the cusp, brother, man.
You caught that jealousy and that salt. I was just throwing at you.
You already know, that's the high school. That's that 9th grade.
I don't remember him being mixed race. Listen, I'm not somebody who fights. If he says he's mixed race, he's mixed race, do you know what I mean? But I don't remember him being mixed race, because I thought his mom was mixed race. That's what I thought. I thought his mom was mixed race, and I thought his dad was dark skinned. But maybe the woman who I thought was mixed race, maybe she's white, do you know what I mean? Maybe I just don't know. You guys could tell me what you think. But I do think it's interesting that Chris Brown has like had so many colorist allegations and had songs around liking yellow bones and like racially ambiguous women. And to me, it looks like he has a perm. Yeah, like it looks like he has a perm. And I know there's some people denying it, like, no, like that's always been his hair texture. Like I remember. I don't remember him looking the way he's looking. And if we really want to have a lot of conversation around, a lot of these guys' features also change too. Even too, if you want to include Drake. Because I saw some images of Drake's hair texture, and then I've also seen looser images of Drake's hair texture. And also when I look at his features also seem, in my opinion, to have changed as well. So the same featureism and texturism that they intentionally look out in partners, they are very much so aware of it when it comes to themselves. Because like I said, I just don't remember these people having, specifically Chris Brown, I don't remember Chris Brown having that hair texture. I think a lot of times, like the way that colorism interacts with like reproduction and like who you want to have an offspring with and who you want to have a baby with and who you see worthy of like procreating with, it gets kind of spooky. A perfect example of this to me was with the comedian Mike Epps, because I don't know if y'all remember, but there was like this whole like scandal that happened where Mike Epps posted a picture of his daughter and he photoshopped her hair texture. Like he photoshopped her to have a looser hair texture. And he wrote the caption, "her hair," which to be honest, I think is actually very weird. I personally think it's very strange and low-key predatory when men fetishize their children's hair texture, just because, I don't know, why is that a pride? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. It's like, why is that a pride for you? I don't know, it's giving like how y'all talk about your preferences, how you talk about your children. I think that's weird. So, you know, for him, obviously you could tell that him having a racially ambiguous wife or a light-skinned wife to create that child with a hair texture that isn't even of that child's. And mind you, the reason that hair texture isn't of that child is probably because of him, right? Like he's the darker one of the two. So his genes is the reason that she has a more kinkier hair texture, or her hair isn't as loose as he desires it. But he's still like in this fantasy of the fact that he created a child who has a completely different hair texture. And I just feel like that's like a level of like disconnect of reality. Like it's a fantasy. Like these men live in a fantasy of what they wish they were and what they want. And then the lines get blurred.
And then what all these men have in common is that they often keep their hair very short. They do not know what their natural hair texture looks like untampered. And they often become the ones that will talk about how they need women to be natural and how they wished that women were natural. If you haven't had to experience loving your natural 4C hair grown out, I don't really think you should be able to talk about someone wanting to wear wigs or hiding their hair, because Black men are able to hide under the fact that their hair is short to not really confront the internalized texturism, and still can have and still can choose to only date people with looser hair or lighter skin because they don't want to interrogate what it means for themselves.
And then the image of self-hate becomes Black women, right? Because when Black women choose to wear a wig so they can go for a job interview or so that they can get treated like a human being, right? Because I'm also not somebody who's like in denial of why people wear wigs and weaves. I know that your treatment is different. I've been there, I've experienced it. I know your treatment is completely different when you have straight hair. So when they do that, people are like, oh yeah, you need to learn to love yourself. And then they intentionally only pick the girls who have a looser hair texture. And they're like, then these mixed race girls become the image of self-love because they're wearing their natural hair. There's so many Black women who wear their natural hair that's 4C, and y'all will tell them that it's nappy, it's not cute, they didn't put it together well, So it's weird. And I see it, I see y'all. I see the men who get the rhinoplasties. I see the men who get the hair transplants. I see the men who perm their hair. Jermaine Jackson, allegedly. I saw a clip of him talking about how he has an afro and all he does is he just puts some gel in it. Let's watch the clip.
An afro, and I put gel in it just to keep it down because I never left that old Jackson 5 look. So I pack gel on the side to keep it down, and I comb it through, and that's pretty much it.
Is that what it is though? It's just an afro and then you gel the sides?
Yeah, if I wasn't to put the gel in, my hair is out to here.
Oh, so
Sir, what are you talking about? We saw you. We saw you, like, I've seen images of you in the 70s, in the 80s, and your hair was like, An afro, it was giving like 4C, 4B, 4A maybe at best. What you have now is not giving what it was giving. These are texturizers, allegedly. And y'all think I can't see you. And it's like, I feel like, people just be laughing about it, da-da-da-da. But it's like, I remember how girls would get ragged when they would lie about their hair. Like, where somebody would have a weave and somebody would be like, is that your real hair? And the girl would be like, yeah. People would eat that girl up if it wasn't her real hair. People would eat that girl up. But here are these guys lying comfortably. Yeah, that's my hair. I have a loose hair. I'm a mixed race. When we can see what your mom looks like. We can see what your mom looks like. So the whole thing is just a mess to me, but I see through it. And we need to start calling these men out for what it is. You got a lace front, you got a perm, you're a perm baby, and that's fine. But then don't go and write songs about a fantasy that you're not, that you're chasing. We need to stop making Black women the image of self-hate when it comes to Blackness, because like the way that misogyny is, you have to navigate it completely differently. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.